Hello everyone, it's me, Sanjay Vasu, back again for another video. This time I'm doing it on Cambridge Lower Secondary Progression Test for Mathematics Stage 8, Paper 1, 2023. You're not allowed to use a calculator, let's start. Question 1. Write down the coordinates of two possible points that are on the line y equals x plus 4. So take any two random x values, I'll take 0 and 1, so we have 0 and 1 as the x values. Now the y values will be the x ones plus 4, so 0 plus 4 is 4, so the point is 0, 4, and 1 plus 4 is 5, so the point is 1, 5. That's the answer. Question 2. Write integers in the boxes to make each statement correct. 7 to the power 0 is 1, since anything to the power 0 is 1. 7 to the power 20 divided by 7 to the power 18 is, we use the power rule. 7 to the power 20 divided by 7 to the power 18. Exponent law, when you divide two powers with the same base, you subtract the powers. So 7 to the power 20 minus 18, 7 squared, which is 49. We have to write the integers, so we have to write 49. We can't write 7 squared. Question 3, work out the cube root of minus 1000. In this case, it's a cube root, and it's the third root, in other words, and that 3 is odd. So you can remove the minus from the inside. So minus of the cube root of 1000, which is equal to minus 10. If it was an even power there, or an even square root, then we cannot do this because the minus will be undefined. You cannot multiply two numbers, and if they're the same number, you multiply it twice, you can never get a negative number. That's why. Now I can go to question 4. Draw a line to match each formula, equation, or expression to the correct description. 3x plus 4 equals 19. That's an equation because there's an equal sign and there's only one unknown. 10 and p, this is an expression with two variables, m and p, and a constant 10. A equals b times h, that's a formula. In this case, it is the rectangle area formula. Area is breadth times height. Y by 4 equals 20. This is an equation. That's the answer. Question 5, complete the sentence. 35 miles is equal to dash kilometers. That's simply 35 times 8 by 5. To convert from miles to kilometers, that's 56 kilometers. 6a, write down the gradient of the line y equals 3x plus 5. This is in the form of y equals mx plus c, and m is the gradient, that's the coefficient of x, which is 3. B, write down the y-intercept of the line y equals 7 minus 8x. We can write this as y equals minus 8x plus 7. And in the form of y equals mx plus c, the gradient is minus 8, but y-intercept is 7, so answer is positive 7. Let's go to question 7. Work out 8 4/7 minus 3 2/7. Give your answer as a mixed number in simplest form. So first, let's convert these numbers to improper fractions. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 plus 4 is 60. So that's numerator by 7 denominator. Minus 3 2/7. 3 times 7, 21. Add 2, 23 by 7. And that'll be 60 minus 23, whole thing divided by 7, which is 37 divided by 7, 5 2/7. This is a mixed number, of course, and in simplest form. That's the answer. Question 8. When a fair spinner is spun, the arrow is equally likely to point in any direction. Chen has these 4 fair spinners. He spins one of the spinners 600 times, and the arrow points the letter R 205 times. Draw a ring around the spinner he is most likely to have used. So 205 by 600 is approximately equal to 200 by 600, right? Which is 1/3. It's approximately equal to 1/3. And why are we saying approximately? Because, of course, it's not the exact same value. And therefore, we can say that there's a 1 in 3 chance of getting the R in the spinner which he has used. And the 1 in 3 chance of R is in this spinner. And therefore, we can draw a ring around that. There are 3 divisions, one of them is R. Why is it not this spinner? Of course, there are 3 divisions, but then there are 2 R's in those 3 divisions. That's why we don't do that. That's the answer. Question 9. Complete each sentence with the correct number. A regular octagon has dashed lines of symmetry. So an octagon has 8 sides, regular octagon. And if it has 8 sides, it has 8 lines of symmetry since it's a regular polygon. And that will be our answer. A regular hexagon has rotational symmetry of order dash. Since it's a regular polygon, it will have the same rotational symmetry as the number of sides. So, number of sides is 6, and rotational symmetry is order 6. So that will be our answer. Now we can go to question 10. Factorize 6x plus 24. The maximum we can do is take out the 6 from both. 6 times x plus 4. That's our answer. Now we can go to question 11. The diagram shows two straight lines crossing two parallel lines. Find the value of x and the value of y. Give a geometric reason for each answer. These are two parallel lines and there's 42 degrees. So x is also 42 degrees because alternate angles are equal. Why are we writing this? It's because any angles in like a Z shape, with these two being the angles, Z shape like that, they are called alternate angles and they're equal. Now we can find y. So since we have a transversal and two parallel lines, these two angles are corresponding angles and they're equal. So y is 33 degrees because corresponding angles are equal. Are equal. Now I can go to question 12. Complete the grid so 3 numbers in each row, each column, and each diagonal have the same total. So the total has to be minus 8 minus 1 plus 6. So that'll be minus 3. There's a total everywhere. So minus 16 minus 1, you have to add 14 to that. Minus 12, 14 for this one, you'll get minus 5 here. Minus 5 minus 8, you get minus 13. We have to add 10 to get minus 3. Minus 16 and 10, you have to add 3 to get minus 3. And if you check everywhere else, in the diagonals in all 6 sides, or 6 rows and columns, you will get minus 3. That's the answer. Question 13. Find the value of each of these expressions when x equals minus 8. 10x squared. That'll be 10 times minus 8 the whole squared. Minus 8 squared is positive 64. So 64 times 10 is 640. That's the answer. 5 times 12 minus x. So when x is minus 8, that'll be 5 times 12 minus 8, which is 5 times 12 plus 8, 5 times 20, right? So that's 100. That's the answer. Let's go to question 14. The diagram shows a triangle with an exterior angle of 120. Work out the value of x. So this is the property that the exterior angle, let's say that's E, that'll be equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. And in that case, let's just say sum of two opposite interior angles. That's the exterior angle. So the exterior angle is 120. That'll be the sum of these two. And that means 120 will be equal to 65 plus x. X is equal to 55 degrees. That's the answer. Question 15. Expand the brackets. 5t times t squared plus 2t minus 3. So expanding, we multiply 5t by all the terms. So 5t cubed plus 5t times 2t, 10t squared, minus 3 times 5t, 15t. That's the answer. Now I can go to question 16. Work out the area of the parallelogram. So the area of the parallelogram is simply the vertical height times the length. So the vertical height is 6 centimeters, the length is 15 centimeters. So that's 15 times 6, which is 90 centimeters squared. That's the answer. B, work out the area of the trapezium. That'll be equal to half times a plus b, which are the two sides, the upper one and the lower one, times the height, vertical height of the trapezium. So that'll be half times 10 plus 4 times 5, and that will be half times 14 times 5, 35 millimeters squared. That will be our answer. Now you can go to question 17. The diagram shows two triangles T and V. A transformation maps triangle T on a triangle V. Complete these sentences. The type of transformation is enlargement because triangle T has become larger to become triangle V. The scale factor is dash. So the length of this side of t is 4 units right and 1 unit down. Now the length of this is 4, 8, 12 units right and 1, 2, 3 units down. So both are multiplied by 3. So scale factor is simply 3. And we can go to part B now. Rotate triangle T by 270 degrees clockwise about the point -2, -3. Now 270 degrees anti-clockwise is the same thing as 90 degrees clockwise. And about the point -2, -3 is over here. So we rotate 90 degrees clockwise. We get this point comes here. This point comes here. And this point comes here. So now we can connect the dots. Just like that. And we get the part B answer. Now we can go to question 18. Mike has these 4 number cards. He uses each card once to make a 4-digit number. Work out how many 4-digit numbers he could make. So, well, we have 3 2s and 1 5. So we can make 2225. And then he can make 2252. And he could make 2522. And he could make 5222. These are the only 4 numbers he could make. There are no other rearrangements. So there'll be 4 numbers. That's the answer. Question 19. Jamila has P pencils. Hassan has 3 fewer pencils than Jamila. Naomi has 4 times as many pencils as Hassan. Write an expression in terms of P for a total number of pencils the 3 children have. Write an expression in simplest form. So Hassan has, let's just say H, that'll be 3 less than P, which is Jamila's one, so P minus 3. And Naomi will be 4 times H, which is 4 times P minus 3. We can write this as 4P minus 12, expanding the brackets. Now, the total number of pencils we'll write as T, that'll be P, which is Jamila, plus P minus 3, which is Hassan, plus 4P minus 12, which is Naomi. That will be equal to 6P minus 15. That's the answer. Now we can go to another question, 20. Here is a table showing information about some linear number sequences. Sequence name, first 4 terms, how the sequence is related to sequence A, term-to-term rule, and 5th term are given. Complete the table. So row B, fully completed. Row C, we are doing. So the 5th term is 20, and the term-to-term rule is add 4. So sequence will be 4, 8, 12, 16, ... Only then, when we add 4, we'll get the 5th term, 20. How is it related to sequence A? We subtract 2 from each term of sequence A. And now for the D, we double each term in sequence A. That'll be 12, 20, 28, 36, goes on. The 5th term will be, the term-term rule is add 8, as we can see here. 12 plus 8 is 20, 20 plus 8, 28, 28 plus 8, 36. And then the 5th term will be 36 plus 8, which is 44. E, minus 6, minus 10, minus 14, minus 18. So we just multiply each term in sequence 1 by minus 1. Now the term-to-term rule is subtract 4, and the 5th term will be minus 22. And that will be our final answer. Now we can go to question 21. Analyzing the interval 3.5 less than n less than 39 by 16. Find a possible value of n, give your answer as a mixed number. So 3.5 can be converted to fraction as 3.5. And we can write this as 3/8/16. So we can take any decimal number between 8 and 9. Let's say 8.5. So 3 and then 8.5 by 16. But then this is not a mixed number because there's a decimal. So we will just multiply by 2 on both sides to get 317 by 32, right? And that would be our answer. That's the value of n. Question 22. Drawing around the inequality that's equivalent to x less than or equal to 4. So this one, x minus 1 less than or equal to 5, that means x less than or equal to 6. That's wrong. 2x less than 8, that means x is less than 4. The sign is wrong. X is less than 5, of course that's a different, because this means that 4 is the largest number possible. But over here, there's number 4.5. It's a decimal, but then it's still less than 5, right? But over here, you cannot have 4.5. It's greater than 4. Now, x plus 1 is less than or equal to 5. This is possible, of course, because x is less than or equal to 5 minus 1. That means x is less than or equal to 4. And that's the correct answer. By the way, for the last one, why is this wrong? We can simplify this to x greater than or equal to 4. The sign is inverted. It's greater than or equal to, not less than or equal to. This is the answer. Question 23. Work out 11 squared minus 5 times 2.6 plus root of 9 squared plus 63. So 11 squared is 121. Minus 5 times 2.6 is 13. Plus the square root of 9 squared plus 63. 9 squared is 81. We add 63 to get 144. And now we just do square root of 144. That's 121 minus 13 plus 12. And that will be 120. That's the answer. Question 24. Rajiv has two pieces of string measuring 240 centimeters and 168 centimeters in length. He cuts both pieces of string into smaller pieces that are all equal in length. Work out the greatest possible length for each smaller piece. So all of the pieces are equal in length. That means they all have the same factor. And what's the HCF of 240 and 168? That's because we need a common factor of both of these to get all smaller pieces equal in length. And we need the greatest possible length. So we get the HCF. That will be, let's just do 240, 168, divide by 2, 120, 84, divide by 2 again, 60, 42, divide by 2 again, 30, 21, divide by 3, 10, and 7. And this will be the n. So we multiply these down to cubed. That's 2 times 2 times 2, multiplied by 3. And that will be equal to 24 centimeters. That's the answer. Question 25. In June, 11 people take part in a long jump competition. Here are the results for the distance in meters each person jumps. A. Complete the stem and leaf diagram for this info. So first, let's make the key. So since the parts of the stem are 2, 3, 4, and 5, which are the units digits of this list here, you can write the key is 2/6, which is the first one here, 2.6. So that means this stem is the units digit, the leaf is the tenths digit, the decimal tenth. And now we can do 2 as a unit. So we have the smallest one, 2.4, then 2.6, then 2.8 over here. So all 3 of these are done. There's no more 2's, we go to the 3's. So that's 3.0, 3.3, 3.6, 3.8. So you write the 10th digit, 0, 3, 6, 8. And then we go to the 4's. So there's 4.2, 4.5, 4.6. You write in ascending order, of course, that's why I'm doing this. And then 5.1, that's the only one. B, in August, the same 11 people take part in another long jump competition. The median distance jumped in August is 4.1 meters. Write down a comparison between the distances jumped in June and distances jumped in August. You must use statistics to support your comparison. So let's find the median of this list which is given. So since there are 11 values, since 11 people take part, there are 11 values. That means the 6th value Because it's an odd number, we add 1 and divide by 2 to get sixth value. That would be our median. And sixth value in ascending order, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, if we use the traditional striking off method, the smallest, largest, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, you will get this, and that's 3.6. So the distances jumped in June, median is equal to 3.6. And that is less than 4.1 meters, as we can see. By the way, there's 3.6 meters. So that's less than 4.1 meters. And distances jumped in August are greater than the distances jumped in June. Because 4.1 meters is greater than 3.6 meters, which are the median values, or the median averages. That's the answer. Question 26. Here's a square ABCD. It's drawn on the grid so that A is at 2, 1, and C is at 6, 5. ABCD is reflected in the y-axis to make square A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. Write each of these points in the correct place on the table. So inside the square, outside the square, a vertex of the square, and on the edge, but not a vertex. So if this is a 2, 1, and this is 6, 5, then B, we are only moving in the x direction. So the x will become 6, but the y stays at 1. And for D, we're only moving in the y direction. So the y becomes 5, but the x stays at 2. This is the original one. Now, if we reflect in the y-axis, that means the x-coordinate will become negative. So let me draw another square, A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. So let me just label it. Since it's reflected, we draw like this. A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. Let's say this is the y-axis. This is how we're reflecting it, right? That's why the points will become like this. And this will be minus 2, 1. This will be minus 2, 5. This will be minus 6, 5. And this will be minus 6, 1. Now, 3, minus 3 will be outside the square because all negative y coordinates means they're outside the square. So, you write 3, minus 3 as outside. Next, minus 2, 3. The y value is in between these two, 1 and 5. So the y value is inside. The x value is minus 2, which means it belongs on this edge AD. So it is in the fourth column here. Now minus 5, 6. This x value is in between minus 2 and minus 6, so it's inside the x range. However, the value 6 for the y values is not there in the y range because the range of y values is 1 to 5. So this is also outside the square. Minus 5, 6 belongs here. Now minus 3, 3. The x values range from minus 2 to minus 6. Minus 3 is inside that. The y values range from 1 to 5. 3 is inside that. So this is inside the square. And finally, minus 2, 5. This is simply D dash, so it is a vertex. That's the answer. Question 27. Lily thinks of a number. She squares the number and the answer is 4.6225. There are two possible numbers she could be thinking of. Write down the sum of these two numbers. So let's say the number is n. N squared is equal to 4.6225. That means n is equal to the square root of this 4.6225. But then, since there are two possible numbers, it's the positive or the negative. So let's say the first possible value is the square root of 4.6225. And the second possible value is negative square root of 4.6225. And we are asked for the sum. And because it's non-calculator paper, we're not allowed to use our calculator to find this. But then, we need n1 plus n2. That'll be 4.6225 square root minus 4.6225 square root. And that's simply 0. Why is it a minus when we're asking a sum? Because when we add a negative number, it's just a minus. This is negative, that's why the plus and minus becomes minus, and we get 0 as our answer. With that, I come to the end of the paper. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share the video with your friends and family, and comment on how you think this video was. With that, it's me, Sanjay Vasu, signing out. Thank you. Bye.